Hey guys, how's it going? Something interesting came up. I thought I'd make a video on it. Hiku brands decided to abandon WeedMD and go with Canopy Growth. Um, basically, Canopy has agreed to buy Hiku for $1.91 per share of Hiku shares, exchanged for Canopy shares. This is good. I like seeing Canopy using the value of the stock to purchase out these companies instead of just doing a stock split, because a stock split only benefits shareholders. By acquiring companies, by using the value of the stock to acquire companies, they're making the company bigger. Yes, shareholders are getting hurt, but at the same time, shareholders are getting returned a better business. So by acquiring Hiku, it just grew Canopy's business just a little bit more, because Hiku is a very, well, according to the deal, Hiku is a very good brand, and that's the main reason why Canopy is purchasing out Hiku. And if this deal fails, if something happens and they abandon Canopy again, they have to pay a $50 million transaction termination fee to, well, Canopy has to pay a $50 million termination fee to Hiku. Well, it depends on who's the one. Hiku can't afford $50 million because they don't have the cash. And with the recent, because they abandoned WeedMD, they already have to pay $10 million to WeedMD. And I looked at the financial through Sedar, and I noticed that they only have $5.7 million in cash. So I'm assuming that they would have to get Canopy to pay them, pay out WeedMD, because they don't have enough cash. And then I noticed that they had $1.78 million of goodwill, which really confused me, because I was like, what's this goodwill? Like, did they acquire something? And then I did some research, and I noticed that they had a merger with Doja Cannabis and Tokyo Smoke to become Hiku brands. Yeah, that was interesting. I didn't know this news happened on December 21st, 2017. I thought I'd bring it up. You guys can read the article for yourself. But I think Doja was basically a craft cannabis producer. That's what they paid for. Like they're like a small craft cannabis producer, and that's where the goodwill came from. So I don't know what will happen when Canopy acquires. Will Canopy get the goodwill from Doja, or they would just get the goodwill from buying Hiku stock? I have no clue, but I guess it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. I'm curious on how this will affect WeedMD stock tomorrow. Like, my assumption is that it might decline, but that would just make it a buying opportunity, maybe, because then someone else might acquire it, right? Who knows? I know one thing for sure is tomorrow Hiku is going to skyrocket. They're gonna go up to like at least $2. That's my assumption. I mean, the stock used to be like $4.30, like $5 at one point, almost $5 at one point. That's insane. Well, it says the 52-week high is only $33.88, so this chart might be a little wrong. This is a little video on what Hiku is and the whole merger with WeedMD. I watched multiple videos, and this is the best video that describes what Hiku is. So,
adding more medical marijuana offerings to its portfolio with the acquisition announced yesterday of licensed producer WeedMD, which targets seniors. Alan Gertner is the CEO of Hiku Brands, and he joins us with more on this and the cannabis retailing landscape. Thank you for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Why was it a good fit? Why was WeedMD the right fit for your company?
WeedMD is an incredible licensed producer in the space. Here is this producer that is materially differentiated. They produce best-in-class product. The #1 reviewed strain on Lyft, the largest platform in the country for reviews, is a WeedMD product. WeedMD has 2 best-in-class facilities. One, an incredibly flexible facility, greenhouse in Strathroy. And we've been partnered with WeedMD for almost a year now. We partner with them on our female-focused brand, Vanderpop. Great team, great capacity, great medically focused strategy. Together, we think we can win.
Tell us about your company, Hiku Brands. Are you a recreational company? Are you a
WeedMD? So the CEO, whoever this guy is hyping. Oh, I guess CEO Alan Garner of Hiku Brands. They always talk about the mergers, and then Canopy's better, and then they just abandon WeedMD. Oh well, let's continue the video.
medical company? Are you both?
Well, today we are licensed under the ACMPR. We're one of less than 30 companies in Canada that have a license to sell medical marijuana. So today that is a material part of who we are, but ultimately we're focused on the adult use market. Cannabis is a consumer product. This is not an agricultural commodity. And if you believe cannabis is a consumer product, it's about brands and it's about retail. You go to Starbucks because of the community and the brand. You don't go there because of the underlying commodity.
How on the recreational side of the market, how challenging will branding be in Canada, where we understand the restrictions will be quite tighter on things like labeling and packaging, and I think promotion as well?
Yeah, the restrictions will be tight for 2 points. One, we've been at this for multiple years. We've already built an incredible amount of brand equity. We have 4 brands under the Hiku banner that have an audience of over 650,000 people today.
In what markets?
In Canada, specifically. In fact, those brands often have a presence at retail. Our 7 stores, which are coffee shops and cannabis accessory stores, saw more than 350,000 people last year. We've built an immense amount of brand equity.
Now, just hang on a second. These are what products being sold to what customers?
Today they are coffee shops and cannabis accessory stores. So you can walk into our store. There's one in downtown Toronto. We're the only cannabis brand with a presence in downtown Toronto. Walk into our store. You can have a world-class coffee, and you can learn about the cannabis market that's coming and buy accessories.
Right. So you're selling accessories and coffee, not recreational
Correct.
marijuana.
I mean, that would be illegal.
Yes.
Today we actually sell community and education-based experience.
Right. Okay, and what are your aspirations for the recreational market when it gets here?
We'll be the leader on the retail front. And with WeedMD, we now have the chance to have full vertical integration. We're the only licensed producer with a full stack from retail to research, R&D to now capacity. So if you think about 50,000 kilos of funded capacity and you look at a retail sales price program, not a wholesale sales price program, you start to imagine numbers that are far more substantial than a licensed producer that thinks about wholesale. At wholesale, you're $4 or $5 a gram. At retail, you're $10, $11, $12 a gram.
Through what channels will you be selling medical marijuana?
Through what channels will we be selling medical marijuana?
Yeah.
Well, today the only channel to sell medical marijuana is direct to consumer. So we will obviously explore whatever channels we can to make sure that we're providing consumers a best-in-class experience.
What about Shoppers Drug Mart and the other?
With Canopy acquiring Hiku, basically they will increase their gross margins, which is always good, because they're selling directly to Hiku, which now Canopy owns. So it's a distribution channel for Canopy, it's a brand for Canopy, and it's better margins because they're selling it directly to themselves. So yeah, let's continue the video.
The other pharmacies that
Shoppers Drug
are
Mart
applying for license?
Yeah, great question. I would love to see the medical program evolve. Canadians deserve to have the right to safe access to medicine and medical marijuana. Today, it's only direct to consumer. In the future, we would love to participate through other channels. WeedMD has built a differentiated strategy. They focus on seniors. And if you believe that wholesale prices will compress, which they should over time, because they have in the US, WeedMD having a focused strategy on seniors should allow them to be insulated.
Tell us about the senior strategy. That's one I have not heard before.
So WeedMD has built a unique strategy in the marketplace based on an incredibly deep and talented team on the WeedMD front that focuses on long-term patient care and seniors. So here is this market that the rest of the licensed producers have not tapped into that potentially has lots of demand for medical cannabis and lots of uses.
What's the product like, the product being aimed at seniors? Weaker in THC content?
It's a great question. I think there's lots of work to be done, but the chief science officer of WeedMD, who spent a material amount of time researching cannabis, has already developed some best-in-class products. Typically, the entire market ends up being more oil-focused than flower-focused. Even in the U.S., in the adult use market, the majority of consumption is already not flower.
Okay, what about ancillary products? How big is the potential for that market? And describe to us what ancillary products are.
Like accessories, you mean?
Yeah.
So I think accessories are a meaningful market. If we look forward in our modeling of stores, there's definitely a couple points that are accessories. We think more about secondary products. These are vape pens, edibles, consumables. That's where this market is going, because ultimately consumers want to be able to integrate cannabis into their lives in a seamless way, and flower is not necessarily the most accessible platform for Canadians.
Are you looking for more acquisitions?
We think there's an opportunity to continue to build the best-in-class player. We expect to be #1 in this market, and we will get there.
What about consolidation generally in the sector?
Well, with acquiring Canopy, there's no expecting. You will be acquired by the #1 player on the cannabis industry. So, I don't know. I think it's a much smarter strategy. But now WeedMD is up for being acquired, because if they can't be acquired, if they didn't merge with Hiku, then WeedMD is obviously going to be looking to be acquired by another player, right? Because obviously WeedMD is looking to be acquired, and I guess we could finish the video, but I don't think there's nothing very important at the end anyways. I tried to look into Hiku's like, I went to their website and I'm trying to look at the investor presentation to find if they, like, how many retail stores they have established, because you remember when Aurora acquired Joom? They have secured, like, I believe Joom, like 25, like 40, I think almost 40 retail dispensaries, while Hiku, I have no idea, but with Canopy's money now, they can expand as much as they want, because that's their business model, right? To expand, to make retail locations and craft cannabis. So they specialize in making high quality cannabis. Same with Joom. It's the same strategy. I think Aurora could come out, and after the merger with Metroleaf, they can come out and they could acquire Joom, because they already own 7%. They could use their stock value to acquire Joom. So I think Joom would be a better acquisition than Hiku, but that's just my opinion. Any more things? I don't think I can talk about anything else. I guess that's it. This video's already probably been very long already. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you dislike this video, please give me a thumbs down. Subscribe for future updates, and have a great day. Bye.